So the nice weather that we had in last week's episode is all gone, and we've got a horrible blow today, and it's going to be another nasty day tomorrow. I'll put the prediction up on the screen so you can see what it's predicted to be. The chain locker is all painted out now, but I've got to wait 7 days, it says, for it to be fully hardened off. It's hard now, but I don't want to start dropping the anchor chain in there and getting it crawling around doing wiring until it's like properly hardened. There's no rush. I'm also going to line the chain locker, if I can, with some rubber. So if anybody has got a big sheet of rubber that I can use to put in my chain locker, that would be really handy. What I'm doing today, though, is something a little bit different again. You will recall that I built this box for the helm several weeks ago now, which has got the autopilot control unit, a USB, the dock for the Orca tablet for the navigation, and the marine radio, and that's lovely. I'm very happy with that. But there are more instruments that I need to mount, and this is what I'm going to do about it. The other instruments that I want to mount then are the main kind of ST7000 brain for the autopilot. I'm going to put that up here because a lot of the time we're going to be sat forward of the helm, aren't we? We're not going to be standing at the helm a lot of the time. So I want to have the autopilot here as well. I've also got this NASA AIS radar. Now, we've got AIS on the boat. If you look on marine traffic, you can probably find us. But there are times when you want to turn your AIS off and put it into receive only, and I think our AIS will do that. It will go into receive so we can see other people but they can't see where we are, particularly when you get into some parts of the world where you probably just want to keep a low profile. So that, I think, is going to be a useful piece of kit. The other thing is our tridata, so that displays our speed through the water, our GPS position, I think, and the depth. That's correct. And then our wind speed anemometer. So those have got to go up here, and I'm going to build a box above the hatch. And the other thing, of course, is the Orca core, which is the brain, the nerve centre of Orca's marine navigation and control system. And then to the side, I'm going to put this old radar that was given to us by Paul, our mate Paul, so cheers for that. I've got some reclaimed teak. So the first thing I'm going to do is start making just the fascia board to put the main instruments in the front. Our dinghy has gone all squishy. During the storm that we had recently, or a couple of storms, I've got fenders here, but I think it just rubbed against the exhaust outlet of the boat, and it's just given it a tiny puncture, so it's a little bit squishy. But look at this. This is a thing called a Flex Trail Max Pump 3, and it's basically, it's a little hanging debris that you charge from USB, and you can use it as a light like so and hang it up as a lamp, but it also is a pump which, if you put it on the adapter on that side, you can use it for pumping up dinghies and things, or if you use the adapters on this side, you can use it for suctioning and vacuum bagging stuff. So it comes with a whole bunch of different a little baggie full of adapters, one of which I've just dropped in the floor. But it comes with a bag full of different adapters. So I'm going to use this one. Don't drop any more in the bottom of the dinghy. So you can do footballs and you can do beach stuff with it. And that one is dead handy because you can put a rubber end on and then it'll seal to most things. So I'm just going to try and put some air in the dinghy with it. I've got the normal pump for the dinghy, but this will, you know, make it a lot quicker, won't it? I don't think it would be high enough pressure for a stand-up paddleboard, because with a stand-up paddleboard you actually, you know, put your entire body weight on the inflated section, don't you? But the tubes on this don't need to be quite that hard, but it's doing the job, you know, absolutely fine. Even if I'm just lazy and I use this to put most of the air in, and then I do half a dozen pumps with the hand pump at the end. That's remarkable. So handy. And I'm sitting on the seat in the middle of the dinghy, so it's, you know, there is my weight on these tubes. You can see it's definitely doing the job. It's fantastic. From around the seats, all the creases have gone out from around the transom. A couple of creases left there at the front, so it's done the bulk of the work. I'm really impressed with that. That is a neat, natty piece of kit, and takes the panting and puffing out of blowing the dinghy up. It's not quite as hard as I'd like it, so I will probably put an extra couple of puffs in with the normal pump just to get it up to full pressure. But I think that's being a bit cruel. It's designed really for, you know, beach toys and that kind of thing, and just general inflatable stuff, not really for your dinghy and your sup. But will it do it? Yeah, it will. It's pretty decent, and I don't think they're that expensive. I'll put the link on the screen. Yay! And our engine runs great. The guys at the boat care team, boatfolk, sorted our engine out, our outboard out at the end of the season, and it started up just great. Slow down a bit because all these dinghies here sailing, look. Lovely, a nice little motor. Great to be out back on the water for the first time this year, albeit in the tender. Still nice. Right, back to work. So this is my fascia that I've made, and I've kind of cobbled together a bit of a box. I've just got a plywood lid on there for now, but I'm going to look for some hardwood to make a nice lid. It all looks tatty at the moment because it's all reclaimed stuff, so it's covered in varnish and the rest of it. But the thing I need to do next is take out the screws that I used to hold it together while the glue was drying, and start routing the corners and what have you. And then we've got a big job to do. We're going to remove our cockpit enclosure today to take it up to Dave's. So that is coming along nicely, but it's going to have to be shelved because Dave needs this assembly at his workshop. finished making the box, more or less. Obviously it needs sanding and varnishing, so that it sort of, you know, is as pretty as the one that I made the other day. But the basic layout is there. I've got autopilot, wind speed anemometer, tridata, AIS, the Orca core, and a compass midships. So that, I think, is going to be great. And because the Orca core will connect to my instruments and everything, all of that lot will also appear on the Orca at the helm. So that's going to be fantastic, right? So the next thing I've got to do today, and it's going to be really difficult in this wind, is have a massive tidy up, take all of this off, because Mike is coming this evening, and tomorrow we're going to take this whole stainless steel cockpit enclosure frame up to Dave's, who made the bow roller for us, and he's going to try and tidy it up, because of course you remember Andy and I ended up making this ourselves, and I MIG welded it. It wasn't great. It's functional, but it could be a lot better than it is, and Dave wants to try and make some improvements to it, which is amazing. So I'm going to have a quick cup of tea, and then I'm going to get cracking out here, and I think I'm going to get soaked. Ready to take the lid off. It's not heavy, but it's quite windy, so just have to be a little bit careful. I'm going to put it on the foredeck. I've already taken the solar panels off. They're down here, so we're going to put the hard top on top of the solar panels and just put some lash some rope over the top so they don't take off. It should be fine. Just go for a little bit.
That was a success. I think we just look a bit unruly and messy. I don't like the boat looking like this, but it's not for long, and it's just going to mean that she's even better than she was before, so patience.
Excuse the wind noise. The enclosure is now off, basically. I've unbolted it completely. Mike and Jane and Melissa, well, Mike and Jane have arrived. The cockpit enclosure roof is on the foredeck with the solar panels. So it's now ready to go to David's tomorrow. We've just got to lift it off the boat, and this is going to be awkward, but it's not heavy. We're good to go.
Right, let Mike get off.
Yep.
This feels like a backward step, but I know it's a positive thing.
If you put yours down, you stand at 10 because the pontoon's narrow. So.
Oh, hang on, you're caught on the net. There you go. No, you're right. Okay? Am I bringing this trolley with me?
All that steel's going in the van, and those 2 big bags are going in the bin. You all right there, Mike?
She looks naked. All right.
Let's go backwards now. My back to it. Twist and slide. Lift it up. Look at that. You just have to steady it.
Yeah.
To either side. Pull it all the way back. There we go.
Well, you wouldn't have fit it down the thin a bit like that.
Big taxi the other side of the helicopter. See it?
Oh my goodness, did you make that trailer to fit? No. You might, so you might have to turn it around the other way.
Go.
Let's go. No. Or you can turn it round.